gotta wait for, see if anybody's gonna jump on. Better be strategic. Nobody get undressed behind me because I see a straight reflection of of Julie.
Crap, so that means if I get up there.
No, okay, so let's see if anybody jumps on. Hope you guys are good. Hope you guys are good. No, you're good.
I know I was going to get up and wash my face, not
Let's see if you guys are here. Please say hi, Teresa. Don't mind me. We are a hot mess over here because we are exhausted. We are mentally exhausted because it was just such an amazing, hi, Sherry. Hey. It was a super, mentally challenging day. I mean, just because it was so emotional. If you guys have ever thought about, you have to, as a unique presenter, you have to do this. You have to come to a training. You have to come to these events because it is life-changing. It is not like anything. Hearing these women talk that are not part of our team but are all of them are Black status presenters with Unique. And I'm actually going to recap Jill Howell. And we didn't know who Jill Howell was. We just knew she was a Black status presenter with Unique. And maybe some of you might know. I don't know. I've got 3 people. Yes. So Jill is number 3, presenter number 3 with Unique. Not sure who 1 and 2 could possibly be because we found out Jill is actually Jill Maxfield Howell. She is Derek and Melanie's sister. And she told us the little story about how Derek was going to, came to her and said, guess I'm going to start a direct sales company. And she was like, I'm on board. I'm on it. Yes, Teresa, they sold out in 24 hours, and that was a packed house. But it was a super, super successful, a successful day. I'll talk about that in just a second, too. But I just wanted to talk about some of the things that Jill spoke. I just want to, if you guys can see without the reflection in the background. But maybe. This is the beautiful Chicago. This is the view from our room. That's way better, thank you. So this is the view from our room. It's absolutely gorgeous. Actually, yeah, that works out fine if you guys can still see me. I just think it's kind of a cool background for my live tonight. So it's late here. We went and had the Cheesecake Factory after we did some shopping, and we are beat, so we came back and got in our jammies, and now I've got to tell these girls about this amazing presenter, Jill Howell. Bria, I'm so glad you know how amazing she is because she's amazing, and she was an amazing speaker, and she felt like she couldn't tell her story about how she came to Unique because she felt that she didn't have the right because she was Derek and Melanie's sister. She didn't really have a why. Her why was to support her brother and to support the business. But she said she started as a white status presenter just like the rest of us, and she's now, of course, the Black status presenter. But she said she still struggled, even though she had an in with the business and knew everything about it. She still struggled, and she talked about doing the thing. So you just have to do the thing, and you have to do the thing and she talked about the different steps of doing the thing. Hi, Ashley. Oh my God, girl, it's late there. So she decided, her why was that she just decided that she was going to support her brother. And we all have to come up with a decision about why we want to do this. We have to decide to do the business and do the thing. We have to decide. And these girls in the background are causing all kinds of shenanigans, I'm telling you. It's very hard to concentrate right now. So, she just decided that she was going to be successful, and that's what we all have to do. We have to, when we join this business for a reason, and we have to join this business and decide that we want to be successful. None of us got into this business because we wanted to just get in here, do it for a month and leave. That's not, most of us who are working this business are doing it because we want success. And half of the battle is deciding that that's what you want. So I'm just looking at my notes. So Did you guys know that Unique actually started with leggies? That's what they call them, leggies and shoe jewelry. That was the first 2 projects that they came out with. They weren't even, it wasn't even makeup. They had leggies, which were like the boot toppers for like boots. And then they had the shoe jewelry. They had, though she even put the shoe jewelry on. They were like 4 pieces that had like feathers and stuff. And they were like the peacock ones. Yes. And so she was talking about that, and just when she joined because she was going to support her brother, and not because she even knew what the business was going to do, but she joined, and she's so glad that she did. So it was kind of cool to listen to her a little bit about her story, but she decided to be successful. And that's kind of half of our battle. We have to decide that that's what we want to do, and we have to do whatever it takes to make ourselves successful. And so, one thing that she said that was kind of cool was, you must do the things you think you cannot do. So if you don't think that you can do lives, if you don't think that you can successfully do an online party, if you don't think that you are going to be able to hit the statuses, then you're not going to. And if you don't get past those fears and work through those fears by doing those things and doing the things that you don't think you cannot do, then it's not ever going to change for you. So unfortunately, it's just, what are you girls doing? Oh my God.
I'm innocent.
I tell you what, a room full of Y sisters, I'm telling you. So she says that's when you have to do the things. You just have to do the things. If you want to be successful, you have to do the things, and the things are book, sell, and sponsor. She's like, I'm not going to get into that because there's a million different, trainings on that. And so she just said, those are the things you need to do. Book, sell, and sponsor. Book the parties, sell the products, and sponsor. And she said, another thing that she said that was really poignant, and she says, when she messages someone and she says, girl, you're doing so good, it's just awesome, and they say, oh, I'm trying, and it kind of ticks her off because she doesn't want to hear that they're trying, she will say to them, no, you're doing them. You just have to do them. That's just what you have to do. So you need to message people, even though we might not want to message. You have to book those parties, even when we don't want to do the parties. And we have to work on sponsoring to build the business and to do, as Kaylee would say, but to do the things. And you will not get results without doing the things. So if you're frustrated in your business because you're not getting where you want to be at this time, then you have to make the decision that you're just going to go do those things. And it's hard because all of us struggle with something. All 4 of us girls talked about this today. We all struggle with something that has to do with network marketing. So we just have to decide that we are going to get past that, and we are going to work to make it. We're just going to work at making it work, and we're going to make ourselves successful by doing the things. And you have to be bigger than your fears. You have to be able to distinguish what those fears are, and you just have to do the things that are in you. Because if you're not bigger than your fears, you are going to fail, or you are not going to see the growth in your business that you want to see. And then she talked about feeling stuck, and she asked how many of us in the room have ever felt stuck. And I think almost every single one of them, other than the women, there was a handful of women that have only been with the business for like 3 years or 3 months. And so they obviously haven't had those moments like most of us have. And some of you girls that are on right now, you're new. And so you might not have had those stuck moments yet. But you are going to experience that if you stick with this business. So what do you do when you're stuck? And it's what you do when you're stuck. This is the biggest statement of the whole night. The whole day. It's what you do when you're stuck that determines your success. So what are those things that you should be doing when you're stuck? She talked about personal development. Hey, Jessica. you need to kick yourself in the butt, and doing that, and one of those things to kick yourself in the butt is to do the personal development, do the trainings, get in there, find the things that help build you up. And so Teresa, if you're entering that stuck stage, then you need to go find yourself some personal development. And Kaylee posts lots of personal development, but YouTube is a wealth of information. Go find it. Go find Tony Robbins. Go find one of those Black status presenters that you look up to, and go find a training from them. Go watch something to help build yourself up and get that fire lit. Get that fire lit. And you're doing yourself a disservice if you're not doing those. Almost every single one of those speakers today talked about personal development and how important personal development is. So I gotta go digress from this just for a second. They asked all of us about like our aha moments, and my aha moment, can you see that craziness right there? Look at that. My aha moment was totally when they were asking everybody. So the yellow status presenters stood up, and the pinks and the greens and the purples, and then they had the Black status presenters come up on stage. My assumption was, we're in Chicago, there's only 1,000 women here out of the million that are part of this company now. And there's no way that there's going to be just a handful of Black status presenters that get up on that stage. They filled the stage, you guys. It was unreal to see how many of those women had accomplished that feat. And I sat next to one of them. And it was kind of surreal because when she sat back down, I said, it's kind of cool sitting next to a Black status presenter. And she says, honey, I'm no different than you. You could be a Black status presenter next month. I mean, she's like, so we talked a little bit, but it was kind of like this, okay, these many women that are standing up on that stage, they all made Black status. And so it's real that I can do that too. It's real that any of you can do that. So it's super important for us to do whatever we have to do to get out of those stuck stages, if that's what we're wanting to do with our business. If we want to be the next Black status presenter and be up on that stage with those women and be part of this amazing opportunity and this amazing business, then we have to do the things, okay? And so back to those things that you do when you're stuck, the personal development. So you got to put your mind in an inspired place. So you have to find a way to inspire yourself. Whether you're inspired by your sponsor, your upline, or another presenter, or by just going and listening to Eric Warhe or listening to Tony Robbins, or finding some of those motivating videos that Kaylee posts. It's amazing. And there's so much out there that it's up to you to find that inspiration. And it's not up to your sponsor, it's not up to your upline, it's up to you to find that inspiration. And then you have to remind yourself of your why. So you have to remember why you started this business. And see, my why wasn't really strong when I first started because I was totally going to be just a kidnapper. And so, yeah, and what's that? And there was a ton of Black status ladies that were there that actually all joined as kidnappers. Amanda Lawrence was a kidnapper. And what is her girl that signed up underneath her that was so amazing today?
Kelly Dawn, right?
Kelly, yes, Kelly. She was so cool. Like, I really liked watching the interaction between Kelly and Amanda. But they both were kidnappers. So, okay, so their why probably wasn't as strong as the people who actually joined the business because they really wanted to be part of this business. And so that was something that, you develop your why. But once you're in the business and you decide what that why is, you have to constantly remind yourself why you're in this business. And I think my why changed today. And Julie's shaking her head. After listening to the story of the foundation, the Unique Foundation, the one that I posted, you have to go in and watch the video that I posted from there today about Derek's story. Is kind of a condensed version of Derek's story. But we got to hear an actual survivor's story, and knowing that while we were sitting in that room, we actually, all the women that were there, we were encouraged to sign up for the monthly giving. And while we were there, our goal was to help 3 women go to the Unique Foundation retreat, to the Haven retreat.
That any conventions ever raised.
And the most, yes, and we actually sent 5 women to the Haven retreat. And it is the most successful Empower You that they've ever had, which we were part of. And it's kind of empowering to be part of something like that, to know that we help someone who is struggling in their life to be able to do something that they need to heal themselves. And it was just kind of that. So to me, knowing that I'm part of something so wonderful and so great, I want to continue that, and I want to continue to help women, and I want to continue to help build my team and bring people into this and let them all experience this. It's kind of crazy because the 4 of us, I think, have really bonded this weekend. I mean, I've known Julie for many years. I've known Danielle for a little while, and I've known Edie for a little while. But just all of 4 of us being together and having the opportunity to be together and to get to know each other a little bit better on how much we, and our struggles and as members of this team and stuff. I'm realizing my why now, and my passion is to help other women. It's not about selling the makeup. I paid off my credit cards with the money I've made. I'm planning on going to Cancun again, so that's another awesome thing. But my why now includes helping more women do this and be able to experience this amazing thing that's happening. Hey, Mal. And being able to just this is kind of cool. It's kind of loud, and it's really cold in front of this window because we have a full-length window in our room. But just to experience all this together, it's amazing. And so when you get stuck, you have to bring yourself back to why you're doing this. You have to remind yourself why you're doing it. And what that decision, and that huge decision to succeed, and why you decided that you want to succeed. So you need to remind yourself of that initial reason why you're doing it. So you have to dream bigger, and you have to reevaluate your why on a regular basis. So today I feel like my why changed. It changed. And it is normal. It's going to change. The business changes. Overall, the business is going to continue to change. It's social media based. Social media is not something that's constant. It's always evolving. It's always changing. And so our business kind of rolls with those punches in the same way. So we have to dream bigger. So I am now a green status presenter, but I need to be able to maintain that. And that has been a struggle for me. So my dream now is to be able to maintain that on a regular basis and work towards orange status.
Hey,
but
and they need to go in and use that herd thing that Scott was talking about too, for ideas and things they'd like to.
on our back office, is that where it is? Okay. So if you have ideas, that's the other thing. Julie reminded me. So Scott, he's part of corporate. He jumped in there too. And so when we start to get ideas about things with the business, or things that we need help with, or things that we need more information on, or ideas that we might have for the business, there's a herd section in your back office, which we'll try to find out some more information on that. But to contact them, they want the information. They want to hear from us presenters, because they truly believe that this business is the success that it is because of us. And so, and they appreciate that, and they love that. So, and like I said, you have to evolve. You have to keep your business moving forward. So when you're stuck, you have to find a way to keep that moving. And so you're going to work from a passionate place, and you're going to find the passion that you have, and you're going to be proud of that passion. You're going to be confident in the passion, what you're doing. Be confident when you're doing your lives and you're talking about this business. Be confident that this is exactly what everybody needs, and know that be proud of what we have and what we're part of. And that was kind of cool to hear, to work from a passionate place. And so I am going to go home and I'm going to find my passionate place and I'm going to put it up on my little whiteboard and I'm going to remind myself every day when I sit down at my desk why I'm doing this and why I need to continue doing it. It will help me get past that stuck point. And I think after the craziness of last month, I think all of us agreed that we're kind of feeling stuck at the moment because, you know, we're it's the 7th, almost the 8th of the month. And we're feeling like we haven't done as much as like last month. We really pushed hard and I think we're tired. But we've got to get back to that point where we are feeling passionate and remind ourselves of the why and keep working the business and doing the things. So actionable intent is something that she talked about. So if you don't have intent behind your goal or why you set these goals, it's not going to work. You have to have something to drive you with this business. So you need to literally sit down and you need to evaluate why you're doing this and remind yourself why you're doing it and push. This will help create that fire under you. And so that was kind of cool to hear her say that too. And then she said, be unwilling. So she showed a picture of her daughter pouting and it was the cutest thing you've ever seen. And she said, be her, be unwilling, be so stubborn and so unwilling to stay in the place that you're at, that you move from the stuck place, that you're actually just like, I'm not going to be here. I'm not going to stick in this spot. I'm going to do whatever it takes for me to move forward and to make this business work for me. And you go out and you find what works for you, because what works for me doesn't work for Julie. What works for me might not work for Edie, and it might not work for Danielle. It might not work for any of you. You have to find what works for you and what builds, you work off of your personality. We all have unique traits that are helpful. And, you've got to remember that we were born and created to be amazing and to do amazing things. So you need to remember that you are unique and you are amazing, and that you should not doubt yourself in what you're doing, because I think our self-doubt really gets in our way sometimes and creates a hurdle. And then you got to ask yourself, are you going to allow your fears to control your business? Are you going to allow your fears to keep you from getting in that messenger and helping you find your team members? Are you going to allow your fears to keep you from booking those parties? And are you going to allow those fears to keep you from selling the products? So that was really poignant. I think of all 5 presenters, I think we got something wonderful from every single one of those presenters that talked today. But I think that Jill was probably the one that was most passionate. She cried. She looks just like Melanie. And she was just really amazing to listen to. And so I really appreciate everybody. Teresa, I doubted, promoted, double promoted. Yes, it does. It can be totally overwhelming when you build and then you don't know what to do with that. You're like, okay, so then there was the other thing that Leslie talked about. She's like, I hit orange status, and then I was like, oh my God, I hit orange status. She's like, okay, what do I do now? She's like, I waited for balloons to kind of fall from the ceiling. And I was like, okay, what do we do now? And you're just like, what do I do? Where do I go from here? And you just have to continue doing what you've been doing. It's nothing new. It's nothing. You just got to keep working. Teresa, thank you so much. That's so sweet of you. I just am passing. I'm just the messenger tonight. I had my little notebook and I filled this sucker up with notes today from the Empower You, and I plan on Tuesday jumping on and doing a little bit more. We listened to Allie Pillow, and she was hilarious. Go find her, follow her. She is a ball of laughs. Like, she's hilarious. And we were just talking about one of the things that she said that we just got laughing. They had like a round table kind of at the end, and they were taking questions, and the one lady says, well, how do you get past sharing stuff publicly on your page when you share things with your kids? And she said, honey, Facebook is just like Walmart. And we were like, oh my God, that's hilarious. Because when we go to Walmart, all of those people in Walmart see our children. They see us at our worst. They see us at our best, you know. And it's a hilarious place to kind of come from. But she said Facebook is kind of like Walmart. And so that kind of was a cool thing. So I'm going to talk a little bit more about Allie. I'm going to talk about Allie Boss. And she talked about Instagram. I'll do a video on the training that we got from Instagram. But Danielle and I, we need to sit down and learn. Because what did they call it? The geriatric... the geriatric social media group or something like that. We're part of the geriatric social media group because I don't know how to use Instagram properly at all. And so Allie has built her entire business from Instagram, which is kind of cool. And so she showed us some little tricks and stuff. And let me think. I'm looking here. And then they talked about like how the business started. Rachel talked about, she's kind of the one that ran the whole thing, and I can go over some of the things and information about how the names from all of the products came, like Moodstruck, Opulence, Stiff Upper Lip, and I can tell you guys that too, because I think that was really interesting, and I think it's really important for us as presenters to really know the backstory. So I'm going to do that. I might do that maybe in the morning, because that was a super easy one. And then we've got Leslie, and I couldn't say her last name, but she was really good. We saw her, she jumped on the elevator with us when we were coming back after she got done presenting, and she's just a hoot. She was so nice, and it was really nice to listen to her. So, like I said, Allie Boss, and then it was a great day. It was something that every single one of you really need. So when Kaylee says to you, there's an Empower You, blah, 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 but you better get in there and get your ticket. You better get in there and get your ticket. Like, you need to jump on this stuff because these things are super, super powerful, super helpful, and I think all of us are thrilled that we came, and I just wanted to share this because I was still feeling pretty fired up from what we did today, so I just wanted to share that with all of you, and I hope that you got something out of this. So if you are catching this, hashtag replay, and please screenshot in the comments any notes that you took based on maybe some of the quotes that I said that were super powerful. Those are really important because this little notebook right here is something I can keep going back to. And again, reminding myself of what works and what doesn't work and how to help myself to get out of these stuck moments. So anyway, happy Saturday night, almost Sunday, and we'll talk to you guys later. Thanks.